Uasin Gishu, Elgeyo Marakwet, Nandi, Baringo, Laikipia, Nakuru, Narok, Kajiado, Kericho, Bomet, Kakamega, Vihiga, Bungoma, Busia, Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay, Migori, Kisii, Nyamira, and the Nairobi City County Executives for the financial year 2023-2024, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 27th March 2025, and approves the recommendations of the Committee on the Financial Statements and Fiduciary Risk Assessment of the respective county executives for the financial year 2023-2024. Sure. Just a minute. Honorable Senators, I have this communication to make on the visiting students from Sawagongo Boys High School in Siaya County. Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting 376 students and 8 teachers from Sawagongo Boys High School in Siaya County. The delegation is in the Senate for a one-day academic exposition. In our ancient tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. Thank you. Because of the time constraint, within 30-40 seconds, maybe you can welcome the visitors from Siaya County. Senator Buru Oginga.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to welcome the students from Sawagongo Secondary School in Game Sub-County of Siaya County. And Mr. Speaker, I want to tell the House that this is a very, very good school. It is a school which is in terms of secondary, it is a post-colonial school. But, Mr. Speaker, this school has performed very, very well. It has done very well, and I'm very proud of it, Mr. Speaker, as I stand here. Mr. Speaker, this school last year improved its performance slightly, but it had 12 A's, 86 B+, 102 B's, 99 B-, and 70 C+. Mr. Speaker, this is not a mean achievement, and that means that more than about 80% of all the students got direct university admissions. And we want to encourage them to keep on working hard. There is no replacement to education. Education is the enabler. Education is the equalizer. It is what makes you equal to the others. So you continue working hard, and you will achieve what Honorable Halwale here has achieved. He is a doctor, but also a very astute politician. So any profession can become politicians. Don't think you can only become a politician if you are a lawyer. You can take any profession that you like, and you can be a very, very good politician.
Thank you.
Honorable Bambua here is a journalist. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I welcome
Thank you.
Students and the teachers.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to persuade to Standing Order number 111 to move that debate on this motion be limited to 5 minutes for each senator. Mr. Speaker, we have a very difficult situation today. We have 5 motions, which at the rise of the House at 6:30, all the work that our colleagues have done will be useless if we don't debate and consider them. Therefore, if there is a day that we must work like an orchestra and not like politicians, today is a day. We have to do this, Mr. Speaker. Allow me to explain just in 30 seconds what we must do, because this does not affect this motion alone. It affects also the other 4 motions. We have to agree, Mr. Speaker, that we divide the time among us ourselves, because all these 4 motions are speaking to matters of accountability in either our counties or county assembly. So we have to agree that when you get an opportunity, you speak to all the issues that are either related to your county and the county assembly, so that we schedule the time. It's now 3:46, Mr. Speaker, as such that we know at what time now the mover replies on one motion. We begin the next motion, Mr. Speaker, so that we are able to conclude on all the 5. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, it will be very unfair for our colleagues in public accounts who have worked extremely hard to bring us these reports, then we don't consider them. Therefore, I want to request that we limit to 5 minutes, Mr. Speaker, and also bear in mind that we have to do that on the subsequent motions. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Then Majority Leader, for the sake of the chair, then also you further guide maybe how many senators should speak on a particular motion. Because we have 4
allow us to consult with the minority leader so that we schedule time. Maybe on motion 1.
Because if you leave it open-ended,
no. What you can do, Mr.
you
Speaker,
can't achieve your targets.
We can speak to motion 1, Mr. Speaker, say up to 4:20. Motion 2 up to 5 o'clock. Motion 3 up to maybe 5:40. I don't know even, because that takes it very long, almost 6:30. So allow us, Mr. Speaker, to consult with the leadership. Let's limit time first, then we come back to you with a proposal as a leadership. Also, final request, Mr. Speaker, if we can limit ourselves to the counties that at least are mentioned in the reports that are being considered.
Also, further guidance that in the morning, you remember we end the additional allocation to the county's bill. And senators and the QD up to 1 from 9 a.m. up to 1 p.m. So I'll first give priority to the senators who are on the queue and did not get a chance in the morning. Today is a special session, and therefore it should be fair to all the senators who left their holidays to come to the Senate. Therefore, I think that is very clear. Yes, Senator Mboni.
Mr. Speaker, very quickly, this is a place we find ourselves because of the court ruling, and therefore it is extraordinary. I want to beseech you, Speaker and colleagues, that we treat this as procedural motions, so that it is moved, it is responded to, we put the question, then next time we shall be better prepared. I can assure you, as one of the leaders in the House, that it will not be easy to have quorum for us to go in division if we stretch up to 6.
Yes, Deputy Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, because we are just consulting, so perhaps maybe then to just improve on what Senator Halwale has said, so I don't bring members here and they do have no opportunity to express themselves on this matter, which is important. Why not amend what Senator Cheruiyot has said to 3 minutes, and then reduce the numbers from both sides to maybe 5? And if you have spoken on the first motion, then you don't speak on the second one, you don't speak on the third one, so you do just 3. Yes, and you just limit ourselves to the counties in the motion. Yeah, you don't.
Do we have that agreement? Have we built the consensus? Senator Mugeni? Give Senator Kongo Mugeni the mic.
Mr. Speaker, the only thing I wanted you to note is that this report captures all the 47 counties. So there is no county that can say that we are not, their issues are not captured. Sorry? All the counties are addressed in the report that was tabled by Senator Kajuang. All the 47. All the 47.
This one, but on the next motion and the next.
Maybe the next. But on this, the one of Kajuang, all 47 counties. I think I agree with your proposal that, you know, when you're addressing issues of accountability, Speaker, it's not, it's a, yeah. No, it's good we take.
Senator, I want to reason to
Yes.
Senator
Mr. Speaker, sir, it's good we restrict ourselves.
Senator Chalgei, just hold on.
Mr. Speaker, for today, I think let's be fair and reasonable. We can't speak for more than 3 minutes if we need to transact on the business that is on the order paper. But let's find a way of bringing this business back to the House so that we give members adequate time to comment on issues of how counties are spending money. There's very little you can say in 3 minutes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Chair Sipak.
Mr. Speaker, in 2013, Chief Justice Mutunga delivered a ruling on the election petition, but delivered the judgment later. He delivered the ruling within the constitutional timeframes, but the detailed argument judgment came later. And I think that's what Senator Khalwale is trying to say, that we've got a constitutional timeline. We bring what, in my view, the ruling was a fiduciary risk report. Mr. Speaker, we've really tried to break our backs to even bring a judgment by analyzing each county, which might not be very perfect. If it is a view of the House to allow the committee to go back and do a proper detailed judgment through inquiry and county visits, then Senator Boni's proposal can be entertained, but to allow those with burning issues between now and the time.
Yeah, I think we are in agreement that we need to, every senator to take 3 minutes, and then at least 5 senators or 6 on each motion, every motion, for the 5 motions that we have. And then the chair will be considering other issues, especially a county which is maybe on that motion. And then the chairs will be able to guide accordingly. Now we are taking almost 10 minutes to make a decision. Give majority leader the.
We are 30 of us in the House. If we, because there are 5 motions, and the time we have already agreed, want to request that you then further guide that we limit the speakers to 6 speakers per motion. That will provide an opportunity for everybody to speak, you know, and it will take only about 2 hours, and we will have concluded. So that's a further guidance that we want to request of you, because then it will mean everybody who's in the House will get a chance to speak.
Okay. Fine. Then, no, I think we have now come to some agreement. Senator Chute. Senator Chute, what are you, what, yes? Senator Chute. Senator Chute, what is your point of honor or clarification?
Fine. Allow me to speak, tafadhali. Honorable Speaker, what I was just saying is this: at 6 o'clock, we have to go to the mosque. So considering that we have a few of us here who are going to go to the mosque, let's limit on 3 minutes. That is fine with us. Yes.
Okay, so let's proceed now. I start with Senator. I think I will first give those who are not able to contribute in the morning. Senator Ososi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, first of all, let me commend the committee of CPAC for the great report they have tabled before us, which has very, very good information. Mr. Speaker, I think the experiences of CPAC committee are similar to the CPIC committee which I had. Issues of late submission of document, Mr. Speaker, which is contrary to section 62(2) of the Public Audit Act, is a common issue in all the counties. And I think it's a matter that we need to have a way of dealing with, even if it involves invoking the penalties under section 62 of Public Audit Act. Mr. Speaker, we have also seen a trend of inaccuracies, errors, incompleteness in financial statements that are audited by the Office of the Auditor. And this is because accountants or finance managers in our various counties are not doing their work professionally. And I want to agree with the committee of CPAC that it is time that these officials comply with the provisions of a public sector Accounting Standards Board, and where they don't comply, then we need to invoke the provisions of Section 8 and 10 of the Accountants Act, which may also include getting assistance from the professional body ISPAC. On dealing with the misconduct. Mr. Speaker, let me go to the report in reference to my county, Vihiga County, where, Mr. Speaker, going through the report, I am very sad as a senator of Vihiga County that a whooping 3.4 billion shillings which is just 2 billion less than our revenue, shareable revenue, cannot be accounted for. The amount is facing fiduciary risk. 3.4 billion shillings, Mr. Speaker, is not small. Money. And this is out of the following, Mr. Speaker: non-disclosure of commission earned from payroll services. This is where they give services to SACCOs or third-party people. A whooping 4.3 million shillings cannot be accounted for. Mr. Speaker,
Remember, we have only 3 minutes. Senator Mudigi.
Asante Bwana Spika, mmenipa ruhusa niweze kuchangia. Kamati ya SIPAC ile kazi wamefanya kazi nzuri. Matatizo iweze kufuatiliwa ndio waweze kufanya audit tena, waweze kuleta malisiti ya ile kazi hawakuwa wamelete. Kama county nimesikia ikitanjwa na milioni 400,000, ifuatiliwe ionekane hii pesa ilipotea namna gani, ama ni kwa sababu county office ilichomeka, lakini mpaka walete malisiti. Bwana Spika, tukifuatilia hivyo, asubuhi tulikuwa nafuatilia vile county itapatiwa pesa. Kamati ya finance ya Senate na yunga mkono kwa sababu ni iliona kama Embu County kutoka sasa mpaka mwezi wa 6 itapokea milioni 363 ambaye mambo ya manyumba ile ilikuwa njengwa, mambo ya wale wa health promoters watapata pesa, vile hiyo pesa itapatikana. Bwana Spika, ni kuna mambo ya ajabu kwa sababu mambo ya parapara. Embu County ni moja ya zile county ilienda kotini iweze kupatiwa pesa ya parapara. Ni ajabu kubwa Spika, kwa sababu county zote ni kama hizi wameenda kotini. Kama Embu inafaa kama mahakama itakumbali county ipatiwe pesa ya parapara, Embu County itapata milioni 211 na wodi zote ishirini itafaidika na hizi pesa. Bwana Spika, kama saa hii Embu County mvua inanyesha, unakuta magari kule masinani hawezi kutembea vizuri. Kwa hivyo naomba mahakama iweze kusaidia ndio magavana waweze kupata kesi ile inafaa, kwa sababu najua Bwana Spika, MPs wote wako na pesa ya sindi. Wako na pesa ya parapara. wako na pesa ya pia ya stima, lakini sisi sote hakuna mtu anaangalia. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, ningeomba hata kama tunafuatilia magavana mpaka nyumba kuu ya Senate iweze kupatiwa nguvu ya kuweza kufanya oversight vizuri, ndio magavana waweze kurudisha zile pesa imeenda njia ile inafaa, lakini MPs wote mpaka wakumbali kusaidia county zote iweze kupata pesa, kwa sababu wakati tuko hapa sisi maseneta tunaongea mambo ya ukatuzi na magavana pia wanapata matatizo. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, naunga hizi kamati zote mbili mkono kwa ile kazi imefanya. Asante Bwana Spika.
Senator Sifuna Edwin.
Honorable Speaker, I'm a very proud member of the Public Accounts Committee under the very able leadership of Senator Kajwang. During our meeting to adopt this particular report, we were given the definition of fiduciary risk by the Parliamentary Budget Office. Honorable Speaker, just a cursory search of the term fiduciary risk is defined as a potential or loss that can arise when an entity fails to work in the best interest of a people, leading to misuse, mismanagement, or lack of transparency. Honorable Speaker, in that report, you will see that the cumulative fiduciary risk exposure of all the counties, the 47 counties, is 532 billion. But out of that, the fiduciary risk exposure by Nairobi County alone is 157 billion Kenya shillings. Honorable Speaker, when we go through these reports, it brings me great shame as a senator of Nairobi to see that Nairobi is number one in all the wrong things. We are the highest when it comes to irregular expenditure at 32.5 billion Kenya shillings out of the 39.1 billion of all the counties, which is about 85 or 83%. Honorable Speaker, we are also number one when it comes to unbudgeted expenditure at 12. 12 billion Kenya shillings in terms of fiduciary exposure. Then, of course, there is a matter of pending bills. Honorable Speaker, out of the 179 billion Kenya shillings that constitute pending bills in the 47 counties, 65% of that to the Auditor General appearing before our committee. We now need to what the next steps are. I want the people of Nairobi to understand that even though the Constitution says that Parliament shall look at the reports of the Auditor General, we rely on other institutions to be able to take action. In the committee that I sit in, we have recommended prosecution of officers in over 150 cases, and we have had occasion to sit with the ESC. And ask them to give us the reports about these investigations, Honorable Speaker. We have had officers from the DC We have made recommendations for prosecution of people. We have made recommendations to professional bodies like the ISPAC that regulates accountants, even lawyers who give wrong information or wrong advice to their executives, or even who collude with their departments. To steal money through legal fees. Honorable Speaker, we need all these institutions now to come to the rescue of our counties. Even if you look at the total exposure on stalled projects, Nairobi is again number one. I want this Senate to help. Help us in Nairobi, because if devolution works in Nairobi, it will work elsewhere. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Good. Senator Mariam Sheikh Omar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I stand here to support the report from the Committee of PAC. Mr. Speaker, as I heard the chairman moving the motion of the report, the common issues among the counties are unsupported expenditure in fiduciary reports, 16 counties above 50 million. Mr. Speaker, most of the counties paid without supporting documents. Mr. Speaker, I urge the chair, the member of the committees, not to allow any supporting documents to be availed to the committee. And again, Mr. Speaker, the county government, that's the governor, the CEO of the county governor, to take action to the officer who failed to avail documents to the auditor under the PFM, that is 156 county, 156 PFM account, PFM Act 2012. Mr. Speaker, the second one is the pending bill. Mr. Speaker, most of the counties, they don't disclose their pending bills. And again, pending bills is normally the first charge, and it normally accumulates all. Like Mandera County, it has 2.2 billion. That show they are not paying, they are accumulating the pending bill. Mr. Speaker, the other one is avoidable expenditure. Mr. Speaker, avoidable expenditure is like penalties, interest, on statutory deductions, which has not been submitted on time. Mr. Speaker, the other one is installed projects and the poor workmanship. Mr. Speaker, some of the projects because of installed because of the public participations and not involving the citizens, the people, for their needs. Mr. Speaker, the other one is fixed asset register. Mr. Speaker, most of the counties, they don't keep their fixed asset register. That shows the fixed asset, the asset of the counties is unknown. Mr. Speaker, the committee make a follow-up on that so that they cannot, without without
Okay. Senator Olekina Ledamo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me begin by thanking the two committees, but I shall begin to thank the distinguished senator from Homa Bay for actually telling us what is going on in this country. Serious fiduciary risk. And fiduciary risk comes about when those who are tasked with the fiduciary responsibility fail to do so. Mr. Speaker, I've gone through the report, and I'm ashamed of my own county because I've seen that when it comes to nugatory expenditures are those expenses which could be avoided, expenses that if you pay your bills on time, you don't have to pay penalties, you don't have to pay interest, you don't have to pay legal fees. Shillings in terms of nugatory expenditures. Mr. Speaker, if you go to Kajiado County, which shocks me also, is that there is about 11.9 billion, which the governor could be collecting from rent arrears and paid rates. Instead of fighting other people, he could have been going to collect that money. Number two, the pending bills. I'm happy that my county has reduced. It has gone down to 763 million, but it's still a lot of money. In Kajiado County, it is over 2.35 billion shillings. When you look at the development budget, it is 1.4 billion shillings that has not been paid to developers. So essentially, nothing is happening. So, Mr. Speaker, the distinguished senator from Homa Bay, the chair of the Public Accounts Committee, has asked us to allow them to go after these rogue governors, to allow them to work with the DPP, to go and scrutinize and look at these expenditures. Mr. Speaker, if we do that as a House, we will be saving this country. We will be saving this country from
still becomes a problem.
these nugatory expenditures. We'll be saving these businesses that are not paid when they're supposed to be paid. Pending bills, we'll be looking at issues of fiduciary responsibilities. Mr. Speaker, if you fault or if you do not respect the PFM Act, and you are